Happy Thursday. Welcome to Couch Talks, the listener Q&A episode of the Feeling Things podcast. I'm Amy.
And I'm Kat. And quick disclaimer before we get into today's episode that although I'm sharing feedback and I'm a therapist and you're also sharing feedback and you're not a therapist.
Correct.
This
I don't feel like I need a disclaimer, but sure, you do.
This podcast does not serve as a substitute or any type of therapy in itself, but we hope it helps regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would like to start off today with an update. And I'm curious how your Face Fitness subscription is going and if you have paid any money yet.
Well, as you know, my first month was free, right? Yeah.
30 days.
My trial run. And I will have you know that on April 20-something, I sent an email. I tried to cancel and they were like, well, you have to send an email to cancel. And I haven't heard back yet, but I'm sure I will. I made the communication before the first of the month.
Okay.
So therefore I have documentation of me canceling. And I'm canceling because I didn't really use it that much. And I'm kind of over it. I mean, I'm telling you, from January to March, I was
all in.
Face Fitness all the time. I did it every day. Now, I dabble in it. I have some of the techniques that I really enjoy, like my platysma muscle massage, whatever this is. I don't even know for sure how to say it, but this really helps me with posture, I think. I'm doing posture exercises. I'm taking care of my trapezius.
Are you saying posture or posture?
Posture.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
my
thought
posture.
okay, I thought you were saying posture and I was like, what's posture?
Well, maybe that is how I say posture, but I say posture. Like I had that countertop spray a minute ago in my kitchen because we filmed another Cooking with Amy and Kat. It might already be up. Go to Feeling Things podcast on Instagram. Check out episode 2. We made pasta. So we were cleaning the countertop and you were like, oh, that smells good. And I said, yeah, it's peony. Peony.
You didn't say peony. You said
peony? Peonies.
No, you said peony. You did say peony.
Yeah, that's what
Which
I said.
way is it? It's peony.
Peony.
And you said peonies.
Sure.
Like pierogies. You
sort
said
of
peony.
like posture and posture.
But I for sure know that it's posture.
Well, anywho, I'm working on my posture, and some of those things just really help elongate your neck and help keep you upright, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. About the things that I have learned and taken with me and that I will continue probably for the rest of my life.
Okay. Well, I'm proud of you. I feel like that's
Thank
a big
you.
deal that you canceled it. And even if they charge you, you can refute that because
I can.
you have
I have proof.
Also, what a tactic.
Yeah. I have evidentiary support.
It's a big word.
It's from Legally Blonde or something.
That's a tactic, though, to have. You have to email in order to cancel. There's not like a cancel button. I don't like that. We should just be able to be out of it.
Take extra steps. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
this is the way of the world. We've got an email that is not anonymous.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is from Julie listening in Wisconsin. I feel like our last 2 couch talks were anonymous, but she clarified at the bottom, I don't care either way if I'm anonymous. So Julie, we're saying your name. Here's what she wrote in about. Hi, Amy and Kat. I'm a longtime listener of the Bobby Bone Show, and I've listened to 4 Things from the very beginning. I always feel like I'm just catching up with friends when listening. I've really enjoyed Feeling Things and the conversational topics, sidetrack stories, and all. I'm reaching out because I'm sick of people asking what my husband thinks of my new goal. I'm 28, happily married, and I really like the life that we have built for ourselves. This fall, I will be setting out to through hike the Ice Age National Scenic Trail. Essentially, this means I will set out on a 2-month-long backpacking trip to hike 1,200 miles across our home state of Wisconsin, averaging 20 miles a day. I've been dreaming about hiking this trail start to finish for over 10 years. I am so freaking excited that I'm actually pursuing this dream, and my husband has been nothing but supportive. He has shuttled me on training hikes, cheers for me, has been doing extra around the house because my training has been so time-consuming. He helps me plan. He has scheduled paid time off to come visit me on the trail. He's the best. However, when I tell an acquaintance or a coworker about this really cool thing that I'm training for, I get the same response. Are you going alone? Followed by, how does your husband feel about that? I understand that they may have some concerns for my safety, but it never really comes across that way. It always seems like they are expecting me to say that my husband is upset by this. I'm hoping for some advice on how to respond to these questions. I don't like feeling that I need to defend the plans that I'm excited about and training really hard for. Do I explain that I have safety measures in place? Because there are way cooler things about this adventure than that. How can I better portray that they can be excited for me, that I don't need my husband's permission? This is something I've been dealing with for a long time outside of this thru hike. I've always been very independent and sometimes go on solo trips without my husband and or while he's on his own golf trips. These trips end in similar questions from my friends and family. I appreciate any insight you can provide. I don't care either way if I'm anonymous. Thanks, besties. Julia, half of that Wisconsin couple.
Okay. So my first thought is, holy moly.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, Julia.
Yeah. I'm thinking of all of the training and all of the effort and everything that is going to take to do this. 20 miles a day for, she said, 2 months. That's amazing. And that's amazing that your family is supportive and that they're excited for you. So my other thought, hearing this, because she's asking how can she respond to the people who don't sound like they're excited for her?
Yeah, and it seems like it's a question she's tired of, not just regarding this. So I'm sure other women out there have experienced something similar where they may get a question of like, oh, well, what does your husband think about that in regards to anything? And on the other side of it, do you think men are asked the same thing? I think that's what it feels like. Well, what does your wife think about this?
Like
And the likelihood is they're not asked that as much as women are.
Mm-hmm. And what we cannot do is change the way people respond to us, because people are going to respond with how they're going to respond. They're going to respond with what's going through their lens, their thoughts. So there's some projection in the questions we ask back to people. So it's rather than how do I respond to change the way this conversation started, it's where do I want it to go? So if you said, do you want to do some role playing?
Yeah, let's role play.
I'm going on this hike. I'm really excited about it. It's 12,000 miles. It starts in the fall.
Is it 12,000 miles?
I'm sorry, 1,200.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Okay, that's a different response.
She's like, I'm going to be gone for 5 years.
It's 1,200 miles.
12. Yeah. I mean, I kind of want to, I just want to do that 8-mile hike down the road. I really want to.
12,000.
Yeah, and now but Julia's motivating me. I'm like, if Julia can do this,
which a 10-year goal, she said.
Yeah,
she's been wanting to do it for 10 years.
I've wanted to do the 8-mile for the last
how long?
2 months or so. Okay. So let's role play.
Okay,
again.
Okay, you asked me like, hey, what are you buying all that hiking gear for?
Oh, hey. Oh, so I'm an acquaintance.
Yeah.
Oh, what's all that hiking gear for?
So I'm actually training to do a 1,200-mile hike this fall. I'm going to be gone for 2 months through this national scenic trail. I'm really excited.
Oh, wow. What does your husband think about that? Is that what I'm supposed to say? Wait, what's my role?
That's right. I just wanted you to
ask.
Oh,
I see you're married. Yeah? Are you
married?
I'm married? Yeah. I forgot. I'm an acquaintance. I see that you're married.
Yeah, I am married.
So what does your husband think about that?
Oh, he's actually really excited about me. I'm curious what made you wonder that.
Well, most men don't want their wife gone for 2 months. And they can't take care of themselves. So I'm curious what he's going to do. I don't know why people would ask that question.
Well, you don't have to go any farther. But I was just trying to prove that, you can ask her question, you can respond back with the question.
But I would feel like I wouldn't be able to do that because I would feel that's a little aggressive. And I don't want to invest that much time in an acquaintance. To me, that seems like a lot of work. I would much rather just be like, he's cool with it. Bye. But
if it's that, this sounds like these are people that she knows.
Right. True. And she did say she wants them to be excited for her. So she would
Amy would tell you to give them deuces and just walk away.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do is bring it back to that excitement. So they're saying, why what does your husband think about that? You could say, well, he's actually really excited about it, and I'm really excited about it too. So I really want to talk about the things that are exciting about this. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this. So you can just bring that positive spin back to it.
So she could be like, oh, he's really excited for me, and you should be too.
You could say that.
And they would probably be like,
you could say,
whoa. Nobody ever said I wasn't excited for you.
You could say, he's really excited for me, and I am hoping my friends and family can support me and be excited for me too.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
That seems good. But if I were to come back with another question of what made you ask that? I feel like maybe they wouldn't even know why they asked it, because some of it is conditioning.
So this is so interesting to me. I think we will absorb the discomfort in conversations so easily. So you're saying like, that would be so awkward to ask that. And maybe a better way to say that would be like, oh, that's an interesting question that your mind went there. My husband's really cool with it. I'm wondering what are your thoughts about what your husband would think? You know, it's a little bit less dramatic than like, what made you say that? But we absorb the awkwardness. So we don't want to say that because we don't want to make them uncomfortable when they just made us uncomfortable.
True.
Like I felt uncomfortable when you said, oh, what does your husband think? But it's not okay for me to ask a question that would make you think about what you said. It's just an interesting space that we're in a lot. I'm guilty of that too. I'm like, oh, okay, bye. And then I leave and I like think of all the things that I would have wanted to say, but I didn't say because I didn't want to like hurt their feelings or make them think like they did something wrong or feel like I'm correcting them. When sometimes I need that information. If I say something that you didn't like, I really want you to let me know that didn't feel good. So then I don't continue to do it.
Yeah, I guess to that point, it depends on the closeness of the relationship. Like she said, coworkers, acquaintances, but if it was something that you really care about, you can have an honest conversation.
Yeah.
But if I'm running into somebody who's checking out at REI with all my hiking gear and they're like, so what are you up to? I'm probably not going to invest that much time if they happen to do that.
Yeah.
That's when I'll.
Yeah, he's really pumped.
So Julia, you need to weigh in your mind, like how important is this person that I'm talking to and how much time do I want to dedicate? But also it just could be helpful that maybe in the future they don't have to ask questions and like that. And I don't think they mean any harm at all. So that's why I don't want to like pick on them, but I just think that it is something that happens to women sometimes
I don't think they mean harm either. It's mostly like I have questions that I might ask you and it would be out of my fear because that is so outside of my comfort zone and that might come off as not supportive.
Like I'm thinking of questions for Julia right now that would be awesome. Like I want to know, what are you going to eat and where are you going to sleep and how are you going to the bathroom?
Yeah.
And then like, did you ever read that book Wild and then watch the movie?
No, I didn't.
Like, do you for sure you've been training for this? You've got the right hiking shoes. I think she kind of just like went on a whim to hike, if I recall correctly. So I'm sure you have more
planning.
Yeah, that's taken place.
Yeah.
But are you going to meet up with people? Like, will you stay in groups? Are you scared of bears? Do you know what to do if you see a bear? Are there bears there? I think in Wisconsin, yes, but
she has 27 questions just about the bears.
Right.
Which those
do you take wipes, toilet paper? Do you use leaves?
Back to the toilet. Yeah.
What if when you're on your period? Where do you
put maybe you use a Diva cup?
Yeah. I don't know.
But also, how do you clean that?
I don't know. Like,
how do you get clean water?
And then how many pounds are you carrying on your back each day? And what's the training been like? And then also you said you have a job, so you're taking 2 months off of work. That's crazy. I mean, she's probably saved up for it and planned for it. But yes, there are so many other questions, and I just proved it.
Because you could keep going.
So if any of Julia's acquaintances are listening, these are some great questions you could ask her. Mm-hmm. And then you said your husband's meeting up with you along the way. So that's cool. There's like little checkpoints where I guess you could do like a conjugal visit. I don't know. Like at
I didn't think about that at all.
You didn't?
No.
See? There's so many questions.
So many questions.
Yeah, because when I ran a marathon, which is very different.
Did you have conjugal visits on your marathon?
No.
It's only like 5 hours.
However, my boyfriend and my mom, they drove around Austin to different checkpoints and cheered me on. And my mom had little pills of pain pills, Motrin, because my my knee was in so much pain and I wanted to finish. And so every time I would see her, she would give me more Motrin and I would disguise the pain. And then now that's why I don't run long distance anymore and haven't really run long distance since because my right knee is so messed up. And I've been trying to do my sprinting.
Wait.
And I was sprinting the other morning and I had to stop because my right knee.
You need some Motrin.
That is from my marathon days. And my boyfriend held up a sign. Now I thought I'd never forget what it said. And right now I cannot think of what it said, but I think it said
10, you're a 13.1 or a 26.2.
Oh, I think it said, "You're my hero."
Oh. That's not very creative. I can see why you would forget that.
Maybe it said something about a kiss too. And anyway, we kissed.
Wait, how did you get from conjugal visits to you and your boyfriend and your mom riding
her
around?
boyfriend,
Her husband.
Okay, right. Let me invite you into my brain. Her husband is going to meet her at different checkpoints. And then I was like, oh, one time when I did something difficult, my boyfriend and mom met me at different checkpoints.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Do you see the relation?
I see but the conjugal visit I was wondering where that was.
I don't even know that's what that would be called, but in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're in jail, if your sig other comes to visit. Yeah.
Okay. So,
all right. So there you go, Julia. You are.
I want to summarize.
What?
So things you can do. Weigh what is important, who's important.
Right.
When people are saying
how much time you want to invest in getting this person to get excited for you.
Redirect the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Allow them to absorb some of the awkwardness or discomfort versus you have to take it all.
Mm.
And that's probably going to depend on how important this person is. And the other thing I just want to add is there's probably a piece, and this is like deeper where like we can't really do that on the podcast. There's something about being asked that has to be tied to something else in your life where that would really bother, that rubs you the wrong way in that space. And so what about it? I would do some digging around that. What about this thing and this question is bothering me and rubbing me the wrong way? Because somebody else might not think anything of it. And that doesn't mean it's bad that it bothers you. It just, there's probably something down there.
Well, she's got about 1,200 miles to figure it out.
12,000.
she can think about that on her hike, which also, what are you going to think about? Are you listening to music? Are you listening to podcasts? Or are you listening to nothing? 20 miles a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
More questions.
Maybe, listening to feeling things. Saving up.
I
saved up when I ran my last marathon. I saved up my favorite podcast. So then I would have 4 hours. I didn't listen to it for like the month before. So I'd have 4 hours to listen to when I ran.
Good idea. Mm-hmm. We got tips.
So save this podcast up, but also listen to it, download it.
Just go ahead and download it. All right. We are at Feeling Things Podcast on Instagram. You can email us. We would love to hear from you for Couch Talks. Remember, if you want to be anonymous, just tell us, hey there at feelingthingspodcast.com. Also, like and subscribe and tell your friends.
You did a really good job with that.
Oh, and I have one more request.
Okay.
Leave a 5-star review.
On
if you think it's 5. If you don't, just keep it to yourself. Like if you want a review,
I'll take a 4.
Great. You can, okay, fine. You can do 4. But if it's anything less than that, then just email us.
And let us know that you hate us.
Yeah.
But be kind about it.
We're open to feedback.
Yes.
So go ahead and email us. Yes, constructive feedback. We want to hear it all day long. But we don't need to have it in our reviews online.
Publicly for people to see it bullying us.
Yeah. Someone on YouTube just said, these women are horrible.
Was it horrible or terrible? No, or awful. It was a word like that.
Tomato.
Didn't like us. Yeah.
Peony. Posture. All right. Have the day you need to have. Bye.